Hi YouTubers, I just want to share dreams, several dreams I've had in the past, and it's concerning our Lord. I had a vision, one of my dreams, of military in uniforms that I didn't recognize, the uniforms, but they weren't of our country. They were from another country, maybe Russia or North Korea. That they were invading. I was in the city in a big building, and it was just me and my daughter, and we just were staying in this apartment building. And all of a sudden, the military just came charging into the doors, and we were being under attack, a nuclear attack of some sort. And we had not even time to get our clothes. All I know is we had to get out because these men in uniform weren't there to help us. They were there to destroy us. So I got through the military men with my daughter, and we just ran to get into the open fields to escape. And before leaving the building, there were like sprayers of water you had to rinse off because everything was contaminated. I don't know if there was chemical warfare or just from the nuclear bomb, but the air would damage your skin. We had to rinse our skin off, and then we ran for it. And that's when I woke up. So the other dream I had, which was really frightening, it was so real. It was a huge, like, UFO craft, enormous. It was huge, and it was like I was right under it when I saw it in my dream, and I was just dumbfounded that this was actually in front of my eyes. It was like 3 football stadiums bit in length, and it was really wide with lights underneath it, and it hovered over us, and it was looking through the woods, and we were running to hide from it, but it could track us, and it was kind of mid-evening outside, and it had like a red beam that could sensor where your heat of your body would be, so you couldn't escape it. And then it zapped us up into the ship, and well, myself. And then inside the ship was military, USA military men, and they were disguised as aliens, but they were possessed, and they were capturing our own citizens in our own country. And I had a sense they were bringing us somewhere else to have us get rid of, like to a compound of some sort. And they were looking for people that were astray or in hiding. So that was very frightening. And then the third dream I had, I was walking the streets and helping others, and it was around after Halloween and before Christmas, and we were shopping, and I bought a bicycle and some other things and put them aside on the street to come back to get them because I couldn't carry them all. And I was saying hello to all these different strangers I haven't met. I'm very friendly anyway. And then I went up to this woman who was mentally ill. She was in this chair rocking, and I went to give her a gift, and she, I think it was a ring, and she grabbed it from me out of my hand and grabbed my finger with it and would not let go of my finger. And she was trying to pull my finger towards her mouth like she wanted to eat me. And she took a bite out of my pinky, and I had to literally tear my hand from the grip of her. And she looked like she was like a zombie, like in a trance. Like she didn't want to hurt me, but someone was telling her to. And I freaked out, so I escaped. And then I got nervous. I just knew I had to find my daughter and get out of the city that I was shopping in. So I went to get my things on the street, and then these boys came along and ripped my bike and broke it. A gift that I had bought for a relative for Christmas, early Christmas gift. And I was really sad because I told them they could use whatever they wanted, just don't damage it, and they took it, and rode it around and destroyed it, and were laughing, and they started getting very violent. So I got scared, and all I knew was that I didn't have time to shop and to do the things I wanted. I just wanted to get out of this town because people were getting very strange, almost robotic. So I ran up the street and got my car, and all of a sudden there was a huge earthquake, and things started falling inside this crack. And I made it. It was kind of towards the winter time because there was still snow on the ground, and I made it up this big mountain in my vehicle, and just in time. And all of a sudden, I was raptured. It felt like I was being raptured. Like I don't never knew about the rapture till much later, but I was pulled away from the chaos, and just then this huge explosion happened, like it was a bomb or some nuclear blast of some sort, and it was so tremendous. It was this huge flame and huge explosion from below me, but I was up above the town that I was in and the city that I was shopping in. And then all I could envision was this town that's not far from me that got totally engulfed in this massive flame of an explosion. All these little towns were burned up in an instant. And I was in this safe bubble above the, not above the earth, but just above the town. And inside where I was had a big dinner, and there were people at tables having cheese and crackers, and they were very calm and peaceful and happy, and I could just look down through this bubble where I was safe, and the flames just came like feet away from where I was protected with these other group of people I didn't know. And my daughter was somewhere in that bubble, in that place that was safe. It was like invisible angels of some sort pulled us up into this safe cloud, and I just decided, I just looked back like, oh my God, all the towns are gone. They were burned up in seconds, and I was so scared and frightened, yet part of me felt safe. So I just turned away from the chaos and continued to look around and saw these people eating, and we were safe and protected. And my daughter, I sensed, was there, but she was up above me a little farther. I couldn't see her, but I acknowledged that she was with me and she was safe. And then I woke up, and it was the most traumatizing dream I ever had, besides the UFO dream. And when I interpret on my last dream I just was talking about, I feel it maybe was a rapture, and God saved us just before the nuclear blast from another country that attacked the USA. That was my conclusion. And then on the second dream with the UFO, I felt like there are no UFOs, that they're demonic, so don't believe what other people are telling you, that these are demons that people are chanting to and praying to or believing in, and you're just opening the doors for evil. And I think the military has been associated for years with the UFOs, which are demons really, and they're being fooled and lied to. So they keep opening these doorways, and I think that's why Obama and all these other high-end political people that don't believe in God are going to be possessed, and they're going to want to kill us all. And that's it. Let me know what your comment is. Thank you. Leave a note below.